everybody, Nerdigans. This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's hashtag anime Nerdigan review is going to be for Tsugumomo Season 1, Episode 4, titled Trials of the Local God. And before I get to the actual review, let me just briefly go over how I do my reviews, because they're just a little bit different than your average anime tuber. So basically, while I'm watching the actual anime episode, I have the corresponding chapter of the manga right in front of me. And because this is supposed to be a manga to anime adaptation, I expect it to be a manga to anime adaptation. So if the anime doesn't match the manga, you bet your ass I'm going to call it out, with the exception of word changes in the dialogue, because otherwise we'd be here for hours. Unless it's like the name of an attack, then I will mention it, because that's starting to piss me off too. And something for Tsugumomo that I have noticed and I have to mention as well is, and I've been mentioning in all my other anime reviews because of Tsugumomo, is facial expressions. Because the facial expressions, I don't understand why they're just not in sync with the manga like half the time. They're like bipolar with the facial expressions. But anyway, let's get to this review. So this episode starts where we left off, last week in chapter 8, and that water impact that Kakuri did was so beautifully done. I have to say that. But when the water settles down and we see Kazuya and Kiriha survive, she says in the anime she makes it like more of a question, even though it's more of a statement here. And the name of the attack is incorrect. And it's just like, God damn it. So this is what it says in the manga. See this, Kakuri? It's my ultimate defense. Fence weave inner court formation. Yeah, it's called inner court formation, or fence weave inner court formation. Not the bullshit bullshit name you gave us in the anime. So just wanted to point that out. So, just in case I forget to mention it, I didn't mention the name just a second ago. What they said, it's like a strenuous barrier, which is not right. And the other thing is, a strenuous shelter barrier, whatever. And the other thing is in the anime, it says that it was 8 layers of, obi. But in the manga, it doesn't say it's 8 layers. Because I don't think even Kiriha is able to do 8 layers right now. She'll be able to do it later, but right now she can't. But in the manga, Kakuri says, "I get it. You constructed a multi-layered defensive covering with the obi." And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how would Kakuri know it was 8 layers? First of all, I just don't understand that. And it should have just been multi-layered. That's where I'm going to be anal with word changes, is if it's completely I didn't mention it earlier, where like the context of the dialogue in the anime is completely different from what the manga intended, and also if it's I said attacks as well, or if it's just some complete bullshit like this shit, where Kakuri's saying it's 8 layers. It ain't 8 layers. We don't know how many layers. Or Kakuri doesn't know how many layers. She just is multi-layered. So that kind of bothered me too. Okay, first of all, the chant that Kakuri is doing for her next spell is wrong. I don't understand why. It's supposed to be from the footbills. Come to the waters that erode everything. Like, I don't understand why this anime is starting to frustrate me. But I do gotta say, little Kiriha is so goddamn cute. Like, you just want to hold her. She's so fucking cute. But the other thing is that, again, the attack name is wrong. It's supposed to be fence weave. Like, what the fuck? Why are you not calling it fence weave, anime? Seriously. So for the most part, the rest of chapter 8, minus a little bit of the word changes, was adapted really nicely, and I'm so glad that it was adapted. The water impact looks fucking beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know I already said that, but I gotta stress on how much I freaking love it. Now we're going into chapter 9, and I'm so glad that we're going into, because at this point Kazuya is supposed to be passed out and seeing a vision or like dreaming or whatever, and they actually did it because some of the episodes this past week were they're supposed to be dreams or flashbacks or memories, or no, I said flashbacks, or like personal inner monologues or shit like that. They've just like completely cut them out. So I'm glad Tsugumomo is actually doing the dream that Kazuya has after he passes out. Like, I'm just really happy they did it. And the transition to it was really nice too. I will give. And the dream Kazuya has was perfect. It was adapted perfectly, facial expressions and everything. Yes, there obviously was word changes, but the dialogue was basically what the manga intended, so I'm not going to bash it at all. But I'm just happy that for once, Tsugumomo is actually following the exact facial expressions. Yes, they did it the past few episodes as well, but they're just random about it. But no, this was perfect. I am so happy that Tsugumomo is just doing this perfectly right now. You were doing so well, anime. You were doing so well, but you really fucked this up. So when Kazuya wakes up and gets back and they surface, at least I will give the anime this. At least you're just not consistent about not doing the the Shakespearean English. I really wish it was here. It's not that hard to have it. Other animes already have it, so I don't understand why you can't do it. But she said in the Kiriha said in the anime, if Kazuya was awake. No, this is what it was supposed to be. Kazuya, thou art alive. That thou hast me worried. Like, you could have just said, Kazuya, you are alive. You had me worried. Like, since you're not doing the Shakespearean English, fine. But yeah, you should have at least had the sentence correct. Like, come on, man. Yes, they shorten what Kukuri says right after. She just says how resilient, but this is what she says in the manga. You two are as tenacious as a couple of cockroaches, which was I just thought was more funny. So, but at least she mentioned the resilient shit. I mean, I can't give her too much slack for that. So they screwed up when after, at least they did the true name, Kariha's true name correct, but after she turned in back to the Obi, they kind of screwed up the dialogue here. It was supposed to be, how on earth didst thou remember how to use my real name? Like, she said, how did you learn to use my true name or some crap like that in the anime? And I'm just like, nah, that's not, no. And then Kariha says, do you realize what you have done in the anime? But no, it's supposed to be, what canst thou do by thyself? Dost thou even know? Like, that, like, how did you screw that up? I really don't understand how anime screws up dialogue like this sometimes. It's just really annoying. But I will say this, on the bright side of things, at least they're not cutting dialogue or skipping dialogue so far in this episode. They're not skipping dialogue like a majority of the other animes this week, episodes this week. So I will give Tsukumomo that. And no anime, like, what is with you getting the freaking attack names wrong? God, this is getting annoying. But in the anime, Kukuri says water pressure. No, what it is, her attack is called Water Bullet, and because it's the shape of bullets. So I don't know why the fuck you're calling it water pressure, anime. This is getting retarded. Like, but on the bright side of things, the fact that the only thing that's pissing me off is like the attack names really being screwed up. You're improving, Tsukumomo. You are, and I will give you props for that. You were doing so well, anime, and I said you weren't cutting dialogue in random spots, but now you are in this scene. And Kiriha said that was pathetic. No. What it says in the as a statement. What it says in the manga is, what the hell was that? Just swap with me. Just swap with me was skipped. And that's kind of annoying. Also, we didn't get to see the annoyed, the annoyed symbol on Kariha as the Obi, which really is kind of annoying. You've been doing really well on expressions, so I don't understand why that was missed. But the other thing that oh my god, what was it? There was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, I really like how the pathetic shield weave was. That was done really well. I fucking love it. It could have been done terribly. But they did it correctly. I'm very satisfied with how they animated it. Then this was skip too, was the O. Well, the O was there, but Kakuri saying what the was completely skipped. And I did not like what the anime did was with what Kakuri said in the anime was you learn fast, but no, what the manga has here is not a bad move. I mean, come on. Ugh. I will say this: the anime, at least you said the right attack, which was water wheel. That was correct. And the animation for the water wheel looked really, really nice. So I'm happy with that. It looked beautiful. And then Kakuri says after that, then in the anime, then let's see how you handle my full force. No. What it says in the manga here is then the next one is my specialty. Like, come on, like just little things like that are piss me off. And I guess we're going to continue with not doing the chant right. And the reason why I'm, why I'm being critical on, the wording of the chant is because other anime, like in Berserk, for example, they did the chant verbatim, perfectly verbatim. So Tsugumomo, you have no excuse to do that. So you don't get a pass. If Berserk can do it, you can do it too. But this is what it's supposed to be. From the foothill of I can't read this. Gehi Nama to its peak or something like that. Yeah, it's peak. Come the water that erode everything and turned toward the Fevrin of the delta or some shit like that. Basically, some crap. I think that's what it says. Delta. Yeah, it says delta. And I just don't understand. If Berserk can do the chants for spells correctly, why can't you, Tsugumomo? It's fucking ridiculous. Again, they screw up the dialogue. Kariha in the anime says, "What now?" In the manga, she says, "This is bad. This is bad. Quick, run for it!" Like, what the fuck? But at least we're getting the memory. And the woman, by the way, is and this is why they showed the flashback last episode, which I'm glad they did, is Kazuya's mother. And I'm glad they're actually showing her right now. Like they could have skipped it, but they're at least showing her. So I'm very happy with this. And the other thing is that water snake. Oh my god, that water snake is so goddamn beautiful. The animation for the attacks is really nice. I will give you that, Tsugumomo. And you're improving on facial expressions this episode. I was worried because usually you have problems. You're not consistent with facial expressions. But this episode, ooh, the facial expressions are really, really nice. And let's see, before the watershed was cut, as was completely skipped, but how the weave looks is just so nice. I'm just really happy that Tsugumomo is taking the time to animate the attacks, especially the different types of weave, really well. I just am really happy with that. Like they could have done a shitty job with the attacks. But no, this whole battle, I gotta say, even last episode, between Kakuri and Kazuya, has been animated so beautifully. And it gets me really excited for the upcoming fights we're gonna get. And if you've read the manga, you know what I'm talking about. The fights that we're gonna get in future episodes of Tsugumomo is gonna be so beautifully done. I can't wait for it. Thanks for getting me hyped, anime. You are getting me really hyped for episodes. And they cut Kakuri's dialogue. They shortened it. She does say what the, but she didn't. This was what was skipped. He split Suzuru Mizuchi in half. Yeah, that kind of would be nice to have. Again, you're fucking up the attack names. Stop it. What is with you, Tsugumomo? It's screwed up attack names. At least when with Kazuya's attacks, they're actually using the correct names. But with Kakuri, they only used like one of the correct, or like two of the correct names. But this is what it's supposed to be. Frozen Water Bulwark is supposed to be the name of the attack. But I will say that it is animated nicely. So this was completely skipped, and they rushed to the Eightfold Blade. Because the Eightfold Blade is supposed to be, like, first it's supposed to be Spiral Weave, and then it's supposed to be, he's supposed to call Eightfold Blade. And that did not happen. And this was also cut from Kakuri's dialogue. Your attack cannot penetrate at this at that level. And then Kiriha says, and this, I think this was skipped as well, it's frozen. It's frozen? Kazuya. And then we're supposed to get the Eightfold Blade. And then I love that they did have the caption for the Eightfold Blade. I thought that was really, really nice. And then this was skipped. And I think even the oh my god, anime, really, you skipped this too? You've been doing so well in the flashbacks. But this is what was skipped. An 8-layer compound spiral weave. This move is, and then it goes to Kiriha's flashback. Hey, Kiriha-chan. Hold on, let me just make sure let me just double check and make sure that it's skipped. Yeah, it definitely got skipped. What, and then this is, if I passed away, I'd leave Kazuya in your care. Ha! What's this? From someone who couldn't die if she tried? No dice? Fine, I get it. If that happens, I'll protect Kazuya, Kiriha-chan. What? Thanks. And then we're supposed to see, like, the image of Kazuya's mother, like, doing the Kanaka. We're supposed to see, like, a splitting image of Kanaka doing the spiral weave with Kazuya, and we didn't get to see that either. And it's like, anime, what the shit? You had the dream there, but you're not gonna show Kazuya's thing, but you're not gonna show Kiriha's flashback of Kanaka, and you're not gonna explain that shit either? Like, come on, this is getting fucking ridiculous. I'm just for those that have read the manga, I'm curious what you think of that being, as hell, even the anime people. What do you think about that being skipped, and do you think it could have been animated? Yes, I believe it could have been animated, especially given what we saw with Kazuya's dream, and it should have been animated, especially that image of Kanaka. That should have been there, because it's cool to see the comparison, because throughout the manga, they do get compared a lot. They really do. So before Kakuri transforms into her little kid form, which is fucking adorable. I love the little Kakuri. She's so cute. This was, they added a little bit more dialogue, but this is what it was supposed to be. In the end, the matter is settled as it should be. Once more we can get, and then she's supposed to transform back into a little kid. And, I'm just like, I guess I don't mind the extra dialogue too much, but at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of bothers me just a teeny bit. Because you cut off, it's weird, it's annoying because you cut off dialogue at some portion, for some, earlier dialogue earlier in the, episode, but now you're adding extra dialogue that wasn't in the manga. Like, what the fuck? And, hold on a second. And Kakuri is not naked. I had a fucking feeling they were gonna do this shit. Because in the manga, Kakuri is completely naked, but the facial expressions on Kazuya and Kiriha are fucking priceless. And, like, I think even the expression on Kakuri is for the most part correct. But, I mean, I kind of understand why, because it's being made for TV, they have to censor it and shit. But at least you could have like the typical uh rays of light or the steam or whatever to cover the nipples and the other area. Like, it's just in the vagina. It's like, come on, man. But yes, I'm curious if you nerdigans thought that was gonna happen too. Because the reason why I think they definitely didn't do the nudity is because then Tsugumomo would be accused of child porn. That's why. That's why I think it is anyway. Actually, I gotta take it back. They did not do the facial expression on Kokuri correctly either, because her eyes, like her iris and her pupils, are supposed to be like really, really small, and it looks like there's like a little bit of blush or something like on her cheek. So, and also, her eyebrows are supposed to be raised and a lot smaller. So yeah, you couldn't have done the facial expression right, but at least the positioning of the arms is done correctly. So there's that. But yeah, you really fucked up the facial expression. Korea, this is where I have a problem with you, Tsugumomo. You were doing well. And Korea's facial expression is done completely wrong here. She's supposed to have like her pupils aren't supposed to be in there at all, and she's supposed to have like this evil smile. And this is what was really screwed up here too. The dialogue got messed up. This is what it is in the manga. Whoop, hold it right there, Kakuri. Ah, don't do nothing to me. I'm a deity. I tell ya. Come on, here's your mask. Give it back to me, you rag monster. Huh? Say that again? I dare you, idiot. Ha, extreme splits. Eek, I'm wide open. Don't look at me. They're all exposed. All my private parts are totally exposed. But again, I totally kind of understand why they didn't do it this way, because I think it would be considered child pornography. I'm surprised this manga isn't considered child pornography, because there's so much nudity in this manga and so much. Oh my god, this manga gets really, really weird sexually. I'm telling you right now. Oh my god, I was wrong. You actually did split open her legs. Oh my god, they actually did it. I'm really surprised by you. I didn't think you were going to do it, Tsugumomo, but you actually did it. But, if you did that, then I gotta wonder, because we're going to be in the bath, with them as kids too. Like, are they just not going to show the nudity? Because otherwise, like, this is kind of bullshit. Because Kakuri's supposed to be naked right now, and it's frustrating because we didn't get to even, like, Kakuri's facial expression for the was completely wrong too, because she's supposed to have the white eyes with with no pupil and a little bit of tears. So I'm just like, god damn it, Tsugumomo! Like, why? You were doing so well, and you fucked up the facial expressions too. But for the most part, I have to take some of it back. The criticism I gave the dialogue. But they didn't say, but they didn't really show, her, like, you know, teasing, Kakuri with the mask, which is kind of annoying. And they didn't even have Kakuri call her a rag monster either. And it's like, come on. I love that they showed Kazuya's face when, it said, or talking about, Kakuri saying, so I created a little situation where he had no choice but to use you, and, Kazuya's face popped up, the right facial expression too, and he said that was a little, and I have to say, why can't you be consistent, Tsugumomo anime? Like, there's some times when you do the facial expressions correct, and then you just, like, decide to drop the ball and fuck it up, and it's just so annoying. Gah. And before you nerdigans tell me, oh, the anime couldn't do the angry expression on, or the no, no iris and pupil for Korea's eyes. Well, they freaking did it when she picked Kakuri up and spun her around the room. So again, I have to ask, why didn't you do this earlier? Oh my god, I just don't understand. But she calls. Oh my god, Korea calls her a fucking midget in the in the manga, and then says, "You really think we can be friends?" Because that's what she wants, is to say, and I don't think it was mentioned in the anime. She says, "I'm looking forward to work with you in the anime." She doesn't say that. I hope we can be friends. No. And they kind of screwed up the dialogue here when, she's spinning around. They did part of it right, but this is they skipped part of Kokuyu's dialogue, and also Korea has dialogue, or not Korea, Kakuri's dialogue, which is this: "Stop that, you miscreant! Are you?" Which was basically in the anime, but it was differently worded. "Are you all right, Kakuri-sama?" Which was cut. "Next time, stop her sooner, Kokuyu. And Kazuya-chan, I'm not a deity. I'm not a child. I'm a deity." Wah! Yeah, like, yeah. That it was. They kind of messed that part up. But I loved seeing Kakuri getting spun around and the right facial expression on Kiriha. And I hope we get more, like when Kiriha actually has that facial expression, I hope we get more of that in the anime. Because that's what makes, like, this is when the comedy happens, is when with the facial expressions, especially. I don't mind the extra dialogue between Kazuya and Kiriha, but I really wish they would have had, "Let's try to get along for real," and then the "okay." I wish that would have at least been in there. But the other dialogue that was added with Kazuya about, being forced into being an exorcist, I'm actually fine with that being added. It doesn't bother me too much. Just the fact that "let's try to get along for real" wasn't in there, that just kind of bothered me. And you know what? I really do like the extra dialogue that we get with Kakuri and Kokuyu as well. And at least we actually got, what are we going to do about this? And, Kokuyu says, "I'm not sure," with the temple being destroyed. And mentioning the shit about the ventilation, that shit was funny as fuck. So I'm glad, this is when filler is okay, when it actually, works with the flow of the episode. So I'm fine with it. And I would say for the most part, in regards to chapter 9 being adapted, minus, the nudity of Kakuri and the tease, like the teasing of the mask, and, Kiriha not being called rag girl and shit. Like, for the most part, it was adapted pretty well. And I'm not going to give it too much harsh criticism for that, but, there was just the little things that were missing from it. So I do like the little filler that we're getting with Kazuya and Kiriha in the bath. It's really cute. And now we're getting we did get to see, after all, we did get to see the image of Kanaka with Kazuya doing the spiral weave, the 8-layered spiral weave. But and then we're going into the flashback, but with Kanaka, but I really wish it would have been earlier on in the episode. I really do. It just doesn't make sense for it to be here. It should have been earlier on in the episode, like it was in the manga. It just didn't make sense to me. Well, the end of the episode was filler, and you know what? I don't mind it being filler, because that means that, but at the same time, it's like, at least make sure you have the rest of the content from chapter 9. I mean, come on. But the filler that they gave us in the anime was so fucking funny, because in chapter 10 we don't know how Kiriha got clothes for her smaller body, and also, like, oh my fucking god, this shit was just funny as hell. And it goes to show you, like, with the filler, Tsugumomo is not, draining the comedy and trying to take itself so seriously. It's gonna be serious later on, but I'm really happy with it. And next week, that means we're gonna go into the intense training. And you know what? I'm fine with them doing this. This was way better than last week. I'll give you that, Tsugumomo. This was way better than last week. I can't wait to see the extreme training. I really can't. I can't. I'm thinking that they're gonna adapt chapter 10 and 11 next week. And if that's the case, it'll be fucking great. I can't wait to see what they do. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, especially those that are Tsugumomo manga readers. Like, do you like the filler that they added at the end of the episode? or were you more annoyed by it? Like, I wish they would have added. I kind of understand why they didn't add it, but like there was a little bit of an omage at the end of chapter 9 of like extreme splits, like where they all go to the public baths. That would have been nice to have in the anime, but I kind of understand why they didn't. But anyway, oh, and the other thing is, you know, they're showing Kariha in the bath with Kazuya, and she's naked. So I kind of have to take back what I said. It's like, dude, you're showing Kariha naked, and she's a little kid. Why couldn't you show Kakuri naked when she transformed back into a kid? Like, this double standard is just fucking weird. Like, anime logic is weird. I don't understand it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. If you love what I'm doing and want to contribute to the Nerdigans Inc. expansion, there's a few ways you can do that. You could donate to the Nerdigans Inc. PayPal, Patreon, or purchase something off the Nerdigans Inc. Amazon wishlist. All those links are in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on the Twits, aka Twitter. Follow my Twitch channel and friend me on PlayStation Network. All that's in the description box below as well. Until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later.